Welcome to The Business Coach, a show in which you're out to help entrepreneurs better their businesses. My name is Ian Dennis, and tonight on the show I'm going to be interacting with one of the top entrepreneurs, Joanne Mwangi. But before we get up to have a conversation with Joanne, here's a bio of Joanne.
Joanne Mwangi Yalbert is the founder and CEO of Professional Marketing Services PMS Group, an award-winning all-round marketing and communication agency. She launched the company over 2 decades ago, running and building it to become an award-winning Pan-African agency, as well as providing employment to over 7,000 young men and women. Joanne sits on various private sector and state corporation boards as a strategic advisor. She also is a lion in the Lion's Den TV series, where she invests in various ventures.
Hi, Joanne.
Hi, and it's a pleasure to speak with you.
A pleasure to speak to you. Corona happened and we can't literally have a physical interaction. How are you coping up?
I'm actually looking on the bright side, and I'm very happy that we have sufficient technology for us to continue working.
So I wanted just to start off this particular conversation by just finding out how are you doing, how's your team doing at PMS, what exactly are some of the strategies you guys have taken into place, considering that right now interaction is limited?
Oh wow, thank you so much, because I think I speak on behalf of many entrepreneurs. One of the things that we decided very early on is that at PMS Group, we are going to work on the slogan, Bora Uhai. So we went and started working from home very early, as soon as the first signs that people should work home started. So my team is working remotely, and we have found to our surprise that it's actually working very well.
Interesting. During this particular period, because of Corona, and you've seen how exactly it has affected the economy, we're seeing a lot of companies either laying off employees, either people taking on unpaid leave. What exactly is the stance at PMS? How is the situation?
It's actually very tricky, Ian, because right now we don't know what the future holds. We have no timeline, and so we are very concerned. So what we have decided is that initially we have confirmed that we would continue for a while, but we shall be assessing the situation on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis. The entire team is very concerned because nobody is assured of their income going into the future, because of course reserves can only stretch so far. Marketing and tourism, I think, are the first places that people cut budget. So we've had contracts cancelled, others suspended. Most people are, invoking the force majeure clause in the contracts. And so I don't see how it's going to be business as usual, but we have decided we are going to think of business unusual and do things differently. So online work, a lot of digital marketing and other communication strategies are in place, because there is still need for communication.
All right, and you've been running your business for over 2 decades now. Is it right now the hardest period that you've ever faced as an entrepreneur?
Honestly speaking, from a lack of preparedness perspective, yes. I don't think any business leader could have prepared for this. When crisis comes, we've gone through many ups and downs, but the challenge with this particular one is that it hits at the very core of life, and it's widespread. The scope is too wide. There's nobody who is safe, and so our clients are struggling, we are struggling, the government is struggling, as individuals we're struggling. So the magnitude is extremely deep, and this is the time where we have found that our competence and our empathy is needed more than any other time in the past.
All right, and I just wanted to find out about the operations, because I know most of your employees are working from home. How exactly are you going about now doing business with your potential clients, and how are you going about getting your clients during this period of time, and how are you convincing your clients to come on board in such a time where marketing budgets are being cut all across?
Ian, it's crazy, because what we are doing is that first and foremost we've had to embrace technology. A lot of emails, a lot of webinars, a lot of conversations, teleconferences, etc. In a way, it has made us more efficient because we are putting in more hours. We are not wasting time in traffic. But you always miss the human touch. So what we've done is that we've also enhanced our communication as a team. We have a lot of games that we play, happy hours, things like that, to just keep the morale high and to keep the positivity going. And with our clients, the same. When it comes to pitching for jobs, you'll be surprised. The clients are not ready to wait. They are pitching, and then they can select, and then they will wait for whenever it is that they are going to actually start operations. So we are considering this a delay, not a stop.
All right, I've been following you up on social media, specifically Instagram, and I've been seeing that you've been posting a lot of commandments during this particular period of time. And I wanted us to go through some of the commandments you've been posting. Commandment number 2, you say that be quick to make decisions and implement them decisively. I'd like to take me through some of the hardest decisions you've had to make during this period of time and in the past during your entrepreneurial journey.
Oh, that's a very good one, and thank you so much for following me on IG. I really like to share everything I know about entrepreneurship, because one of the things I wish most is that when I was starting out, there were seasoned entrepreneurs who could have shared, and I would have made less mistakes. So one of the things I said is that you need to be very quick to make decisions, and you need to be decisive. This is not a time when you can wait to be sure, or you can wait to have all the data at your fingertips. It will be too late. Some of the decisions we've had to make, for example, that are really hard to make and that we had to make, is to write to anybody who we owe money, for example, our landlord, and tell our landlord we are not sure we'll be able to pay our rent next month, but as soon as we can, we are ready to sit down and negotiate and come up with an arrangement on how we shall pay any debt that we shall be owing, because our priority is number 1 to our team, and then after that we can worry about everything else. Another hard decision to make is to let everybody who is non-core really sit at home and do nothing. You can imagine, we've got drivers, we've got people who work in merchandising, in the supermarkets. They're sitting at home and there's nothing they can do. It's a very hard decision to tell somebody to just sit at home and not to be able to assure them that you can pay them salaries for how long. You can only assure in the short term. So those are some of the hard decisions, but you have to be decisive about it. You can't just sit and wait.
And you've been in the entrepreneurship journey for over 2 decades. Within your journey, what are some of the harder decisions you've had to make?
For me, I would say a lot of the hard decisions have had to do with human resource management. When you find that either you cannot afford to pay the people that you value very much because the market has shifted, or you need to hire new resources because you need people with different skill sets. Remember that in those 2 decades, the technological change that has happened has meant that anybody who was a laggard in taking up technology and in moving ahead remained behind and became a dinosaur. So anybody who did not embrace quickly being tech savvy really could not survive. And sometimes you have to let go of people you really value, but they've become dinosaurs in the business. So those are hard. And the other hard decisions is when you have to fire clients. Because, you get to a point where you really, really want to prove a point with every client. You want to show them your very best. You want to do the best for them. But sometimes it's just not possible when the chemistry is not working, or when they're disrespectful to you or to your teams or to their own teams. And that's one of the values at PMS we do not joke with.
Interesting. And one of the other commandments that you have is that your team comes first, build hope in it. During this particular period of time, it's hard to everybody. You as the employer, your employees, how exactly are you instilling hope, and how exactly are you stimulating your team through this particular period of time? Because there's a lot of uncertainties during this particular period of time.
I think, Ian, for all of us as business leaders and everybody in their leadership journey at this time, we have no option but to look for the silver lining. And if you don't find the silver lining and direct your team or your family even in that direction, people can become very hopeless. So for me, what I find is that I always say there's an opportunity in everything. So with our team, what we're doing right now is that we sit down and we say, what are the current pain points in society? What are the problems that are keeping people asleep at night? How can we solve those problems? And the minute you think that way, you see opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. And the minute there's opportunity, there's hope. There's always hope. So my team right now is very energized. We are doing very interesting things. And we're saying, the day we were born, none of us woke up being told that PMS is a marketing company. So don't be surprised to hear next year PMS is doing construction, or I don't know what we're going to be doing, because it's design thinking, and this is the moment that we have for a paradigm shift. I think every business now has an opportunity to restart, relaunch. Just like every individual is reassessing how we have been using the days on earth, and we are thinking how I'm going to use them a lot better and enjoy them a lot more when life goes back to quote unquote normal.
All right, on that particular note, we're going to take a short commercial break, but don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after the break.